Okay, so more advanced use of Adobe Camera Raw. So I'm going to open up this image. It's going to open up in Adobe Camera Raw. You can see I've already made some adjustments over here in the My Basics tab. Some sliders already moved around. First thing, something that's nice to know about is there's all these different little tabs up here by the Basics tab. The far right one is called Snapshots. Snapshots is basically a way to just remember the exact adjustments that you made at this point in time and save it as kind of altogether one thing. And you can click on it at any time in the future and just go back to those settings. There's particular times when this is useful. And it's very easy. You go to Snapshots. At the bottom here, there's a little page icon, which means new. You click on it. You say, what do I want to name it? You say, I don't know, optimize #1 or something. And then it's there for you. Now, if I go back to my Basics tab, if I hold down Option key in the bottom, my three little controls here, open in Photoshop, cancel, or done. The cancel changes and it turns into reset. So I can say click on reset. Oh, I guess it doesn't. Usually it resets everything, but let's see. I guess I could hit default. That seemed to do it for the most part. But I just wanted to zero these things out. So here's my image like before I did anything to it, like when I as shot, if you will. So if I go back to my snapshots, I could create another snapshot and say as shot or something like that. And now I could just toggle between them as I desired. Nothing super amazing in what I'm doing here, but you get a sense how snapshots work. So at this point, I think I'd like to just go through all the tools at the top here and show you what those do. So the first one is just the zoom tool. It's pretty obvious. You click and it zooms in. If you hold down the Option key, it will turn into a minus zoom bar and it will zoom out. Okay, so you can go out or in. Of course, the quick keys for zooming in and out are always available to you in Adobe Camera Raw, just like Photoshop. So you can hold down Command and you can do the plus key to zoom in, minus key to zoom out, 0 to go to the full size of the screen, and Command 1 should actually, that might not work in this, it works in Photoshop. Command 1 should like zoom in so that you can see it at 100% level. But that's the zoom tool. The next tool is the hand tool. Hand tool is helpful when you're already zoomed in. So if you're zoomed in, another way to change the zoom is down in the bottom left hand corner here. You can go to say 100%, and now we're very close to the image. So now the hand tool is nice because you click and drag and it just moves around your image, so you can kind of move and see different parts of your image. So at a time when you're zoomed in, if you don't always want to have to zoom back out, then find where you want to zoom in and zoom back in. You just would like to move around the image while it's zoomed in and you can only see a part of it. That's what the hand tool is. The nice thing about the hand tool is there's a quick way to get to the hand tool. So if you have another tool selected, like let's say the zoom tool, if I just hold the space bar down, the icon of the tool will turn into the hand tool. And as long as my space bar is pressed, it's as if my hand tool is active, and then I can just move around the image. So this is just a basic navigation function, but it's good and important to know. White balance tool. We talked a little bit about this tool last week. It looks like an eyedropper tool. You go to a part of your image that is like a neutral cast, like a light gray is the optimal, and you would click on that to get, it would change the white balance, sliders, the temperature, and the tint according to that to remove the color cast in whatever you click on. So if you click on something that's like my flesh tone or like of my hand, it's not necessarily going to do a great job because that has a color. It's pink. It has a cast to it. My hand shouldn't be gray, or I'd probably be dead, right? So I shouldn't be ash gray. So you can see I clicked on that. It's kind of pink, warm, orange. So it's trying to neutralize the cast in my hand. So it actually made it a lot cooler and a bit more green to compensate for the more magenta characteristic of my hand being like that's kind of close to pink in color. So you can play around with this. So in this type of image, it's not really that useful for me to use that tool. But in another type of situation where you do have a neutral color, it can be a nice starting point for you to use. And then from there, you can go back to the white balance adjusters and do a fine tuning.